Your portfolio is bleeding right now. I know this because, well, just take a look at mine. I'm down about £7,000 or so year to date so far. And if you're anything like me, you've probably been watching the news on the US-Iran war, looking at rising oil prices, and you might be wondering whether to sell everything and just dive into cash. But here's the truth, high emotions are usually where the biggest mistakes are made. In the 9 years that I've been investing, I've seen my investments deep in the red before. Yet every single time I've come out the other side with my investment portfolio worth significantly more. So today I'll take you through 80 years of data that will completely change how you look at this volatility, but just a warning, not everybody should be investing in exactly the same way right now. And that nuance is important to address here. So let's begin. I've got a bit of a confession to make. I'm a little bit of a history nerd, and that probably comes from my granddad, who used to tell me stories about what used to go on back in World War II. One of those crazy stories being that him and his mate would go out at night in Birmingham when they were probably only like 13 years of age with metal dustbin lids, and they would put out flares that the Nazis had dropped over Birmingham. Mental to think about, considering that this is what Birmingham looked like back in World War II, absolutely obliterated by German bombs. Now at the time it must have felt like the country was falling apart, and whilst I'm sure the UK stock market, which back then was known as the FT30, would have been the last thing on my granddad's mind, well, back then you probably would have thought that that would have been destroyed too. But I came across this fascinating research paper titled The Effect of World War II on the British Stock Market, and it analysed exactly what happened to the FT30 during those chaotic years, and the results may not be what you expect. The researchers found that the stock market is governed by something called the negativity effect. To prove this, they tracked 22 major war events and found that the market reacted significantly to bad news, like the fall of France in 1940, which sent the FT30 to its lowest point in history, dropping by 12%. But it barely had any positive effect at good news. This suggests that as investors we over-index on fear, but we're a little bit more skeptical about a recovery until it's happened. Now, despite all the atrocities in World War II, by the time that the war ended in 1945, then actually the FT30 had gone on a significant bull run of over 22%. With markets being back above pre-war highs by the end of the war, which I bet you didn't expect me to say. I reference this because we're seeing the negativity effect playing out in real time right now with the US-Iran war. What's going on right now in the world is awful. It's absolutely devastating in some places, but as investors we can only really process the information that's available to us at any given point in time. It's why one day stocks are down because investors are worried about the war, and then on the next day there's peace talks and then the markets rise again. But as we all know, fear sells, and negativity typically can overwhelm any kind of positive sentiment, which is why we're currently facing down the barrel of a market correction with the S&P 500 being down over 4%. This is what results in investors selling their portfolios with a preference to sit in cash. Because let's be honest, cash ISA rates are currently quite appealing right now, but fundamentally it's down to the fact that there is a fear that something worse could just happen. This essentially is the negativity effect in action. When the world feels like it's falling apart, it forces you to make decisions that perhaps a rational investor perhaps otherwise wouldn't. To beat this, you have to take your own emotions out of the equation, which is why I've been using today's video sponsor, Trading 212, for the last 6 years. It's where I've built the bulk of my investment portfolio value using a feature that stops me from tinkering or changing my investment portfolio when bad things happen. This is all via the Trading 212 Pies feature, where I select my investments, set up the auto invest feature, select the frequency and the amount I want to invest, and then I simply set it and forget it, and that's what keeps me investing during the good times and the bad. Now, to help you guys get started, Trading 212 are offering all of my subscribers one free fractional share valued up to £100 when you click on the QR code up here on screen, or if you click on the link down in the description below. Or alternatively, if you have opened an account within the past 10 days, be sure to use the promo code Mitch and just deposit £1 into your account and you'll still qualify for that free fractional share. For transparency, this is an affiliate link which massively helps support the channel at no extra cost to you, so thanks so much if you do go on to use that link. With that said, let's get back to the video. There's one simple fact that I love as a long-term investor, and that's that the S&P 500 has always recovered over a long enough time period. But whilst it's a cool thing to know, it's a hard perspective to maintain when you're staring at your investment portfolio like I am, when it's deep in the red. But trying times like this is where some investors will make a mistake that could cost them for decades to come. Let me now explain a concept to you from Nobel Prize winning economist Eugene Fama called efficient market hypothesis. In his research paper, he said that stock prices at any time fully reflect all available information. So essentially, markets were informationally efficient, meaning that when we see headlines like this one, for example, the worst case scenario is already priced in. This can create a safety tax situation for investors where those who act on it can get stung hard. Because if you wait until the news feels positive or the world feels safe again, markets have invariably priced this in. And let's be honest, positive news is few and far between anyway. Because this is where investors make a costly error. By the time that they feel comfortable to buy back into the market has already gone on a recovery, and you'll pay a 10 or 20% premium for that peace of mind. Just like we saw with the FT30 back in World War II. And look, I've shown this study on the channel time and time again, but I'll say it once more. If you miss just the 10 best days in the market over the last 20 years, your portfolio returns drop by more than half. But to avoid making the mistake of staying out of the market, I want to share with you a 3-phase pattern that the market has always made throughout history. Phase 1 is the shock, where you see a sudden, sometimes violent drop due to the negativity effect. Phase 2 is the panic. Retail investors invariably sell somewhere near the bottom because they over-index on fear. And then phase 3 is the silent recovery. The market begins to climb whilst the news is still objectively bad because the worst case scenario has already been priced in. And this is what most investors miss out on. The reality is the stock market doesn't reflect how the world feels today, and instead it reflects what the world expects tomorrow, pricing in everything based on all available information. I'll be honest, knowing this theory is one thing, but living through it, looking at the value of your investment portfolio is a whole other story. And I've had a few tests in the last 9 years, some specifically related to war, which if I can take you back to the Russia-Ukraine war back in 2022, I'll share with you exactly what happened to me personally. I was looking at my own investment portfolio, investments that I'd been building with my hard-earned money since 2017, and it was bleeding red. Like, I'm talking down thousands of pounds over the space of the first 12 months. I give this relevance given the parallels to the war that we see today, the links to inflation and potential similarities in economic consequences just 4 years on. And at the time it would have been easy for me to pay that safety tax, perhaps sell some of my investments and move more into cash. But despite the headlines in 2022, I kept buying and I did so consistently even as the war escalated. And as an example, if we take this investment which I made on the 13th of April 2022, when the Vanguard VUSA S&P 500 was priced at roughly £64. Well, today it's priced at £91.92 per unit, meaning that one investment in the middle of the chaos is now at 43.75%. This is why, in my view, long-term investing has consistently won out in markets as the ultimate investment strategy. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about World War II, Russia-Ukraine, or US-Iran, it's the approach that I've always taken, even when you can't see the wood through the trees in the moment, because it's an approach that's always turned out to be profitable, as overall my investments are firmly sat in the green. But I will admit, sometimes it can be a very rocky road in the short term. Here are a list of major geopolitical events, and in blue you can see the impact on the stock market during that period of time. The declines related to war certainly vary, some of them are worse than others, but then in orange you can see what happened just 1 year on, where on 7 out of the 13 occasions the market had posted positive gains, but on 6 of the 13 occasions it was negative, showing the importance of taking that long-term approach to investing. But look, I've got to be honest, whilst that's an approach that might work for me personally in terms of long-term investing, buying the dip, buying into the market whilst it's discounted, it's not an approach that everybody should take. So let me address something that's really important that perhaps doesn't get spoke about all too much. Okay, so there are also a number of reasons that you should not invest into the stock market during these volatile times. This isn't going to be an exhaustive list, but there is a handful of things that I just wanted to share for your consideration. The first one being if you're close to retirement. If you're close to retirement, putting those final few £1,000s away now might not be a great time to invest. This is because of something called the sequence of returns risk, and here's a hypothetical chart which I think is pretty good from Charles Schwab. It shows the impact of two investors where one experiences a 15% decline during the first 2 years of retirement versus investor 2 who experiences a 15% decline during the 10th and 11th years of retirement. You can see after 18 years, investor 2, where the sequence of returns were favourable, had far more money in the end. Of course, it's complete luck as and when markets perform poorly, but that's where it's important to ensure that any investments that you are making are certainly aligned to your risk appetite and investment objectives based on the stage of life that you're in. And I'd always suggest getting in contact with a financial advisor here if you're unsure. The second is that you simply can't afford to lose the principal. In a similar theme really, but perhaps is more relevant to those in their 20s and 30s who are looking to grow their financial pots, who are perhaps more prepared to take on risk in order to be able to do that. But the truth is, if you need the cash within the next 2 to 5 years for a big purchase like a house deposit, a wedding, or some other big purchase that you've got planned, investing in highly volatile assets might not be the best way to go. In this instance, it might be worth considering how your money is allocated and how it would potentially affect that big purchase that you plan to go on to make if the market were to drop 10, 20 or 30%. Third is that you simply can't sleep at night. If you're checking your investment portfolio 17 times a day and are thinking about panic selling your investments, then it might be time to do a little bit of a realignment and a readjustment, because adding more investments to an already volatile investment portfolio may leave you with a lack of sleep at night, and trust me, I know all about that now as the first-time dad, and it's certainly not a good thing. So consider now as a warning not to make any rash decisions, but perhaps think a little bit more about how you'd like to reallocate your portfolio in a way that's more aligned to your overall risk appetite. But just to provide an additional layer of perspective, whilst everything going on in the market right now can feel quite doom and gloom with the S&P 500 being down over 4% as at recording, markets right now aren't exactly in the worst case scenario in terms of overall drawdown. I can of course never say if there is the worst yet to come because I don't have a crystal ball, but just be aware that the stock market can drop 10, 20 or 30% or more. And that's all completely normal. It's just how you react as an investor that will determine your future success or failure. But if you want to make sure that you're not going to go on to make a big mistake with your money by using the wrong type of account, then be sure to watch this video next. With that being said, I'll see you over in the next one.